Namaste everyone, welcome. My name is Sarah. I'm offering this yoga class since we are all quarantined at home. My goal for today is to find a little bit of fire in the belly, openness in the hips and shoulders if you've been doing a lot of sitting or working from home. But first we will start with a comfortable seat and a pranayama breathing exercise called square breathing. Square breathing consists of an inhale for a count of 4, a hold at the top for a count of 4, an exhale for a count of 4, and then a hold on the exhale for a count of 4. So it looks like this. At the inhale, at the hold on the inhale, you're using your Jalandhara Bandha, your throat lock, to hold, and then at the exhale, you're drawing the belly in to hold. I'll do the counting, so all you have to do is find a comfortable seat. Square breathing is really good for calming the nervous system if you're feeling any sort of anxiety or stress of being indoors or still having to work from home, or the uncertainty. This is a really nice calming breathing that helps you focus. So let's find a comfortable seat. First, as you inhale, draw the shoulders up towards your ears and then sigh them out. 2 more times, inhale. One more. Good. Root down through your sits bones. Reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, draw all the air out, so low belly draws back. As you inhale for 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold out, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold out, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold out, 2, 3, 4, inhale, hold, exhale, hold out. Good, 2 more breaths, inhale, hold, exhale, hold out. Last one, inhale, hold, exhale, hold out. Good, release that breath and take an inhale, normal breath, in and out. Good. Let's come down onto our backs. We'll start with a little bit of core work. So as you roll down, you can help yourself all the way onto your back. And if this is the first time on your back today, let's take a big morning stretch first, reaching the arms up overhead, toes away from the body. Maybe reaching through the right side and then the left side. Then draw the knees into the chest and give them a squeeze. Maybe draw circles on the ceiling in one direction and the other, just massaging the low back, which might be tender after all of your sitting and working. Come back to stillness. So we're going to begin with a little bit of bicycles, but you'll start by drawing the right knee in towards the chest and sending the left leg out long. The low belly draws in and you're trying to flatten the low back on the mat. So notice if as you extend this left leg, you get a big curve in your back, okay? What you're trying to do is low belly draws in to flatten the low back. So as you exhale here, inhale, left knee comes to meet the right, exhale, right knee goes out straight. Good, inhale, center, exhale left, inhale center, exhale right. Good, so you're gonna keep moving like this. You can keep it nice and slow, or you can make it a little faster. As you exhale, drawing the knee into the chest. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Both knees drop to the chest. Give them a squeeze. You can release the soles of the feet to the floor. Just sway the knees from side to side. Nice little relaxing here. And then come back to stillness. Again, low belly draws in, flatten the low back, and this time stack the knees right on top of the hips. Shins are parallel to the floor, and you can flex your feet. So you can stay right here, maybe with the arms down by your sides for a little extra support, palms pressing into the mat. Or you can send the arms overhead, fingertips reaching up towards the ceiling. You can stay right here and hold. This is a lot of core work just to hold this position. If you'd like a little bit more, you'll, as you exhale, drop the right heel to the floor, inhale up to center, exhale left, inhale center, exhale right, exhale left. Good, so keep moving just like this, and if you'd like, you can add the arms. So it'll be opposite arm with opposite leg. And this is really good to fire up the core. You're working to keep those knees stacked right over the hips. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, draw the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze. Again, release the soles of the feet to the floor, this time with the arms down by your sides, palms facing towards the floor. And then as you inhale, you'll peel the hip bones and the spine away from the floor as you reach the arms up overhead so that the backs of the hands come to the floor behind you. And then as you exhale, you'll lower so that the hands and hips hit at the same time to the floor. Good, inhale. Lift the hips, lift the arms, getting into those shoulders, and then exhale, lower down. Good, one more time, inhale. Lift the hips, root down through the feet to lift, and then exhale, lower, one vertebrae at a time. Good. Draw the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze, rock from side to side. And then if it feels okay, you can rock and roll up and down the spine. Or if that doesn't feel okay, you'll simply roll over onto one side and help yourself up. So that you arrive in table, wherever you are. Actually, let's face this way. So as you come into table, wrists are stacked right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath of your hips, and the toes are pressing into the floor. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow here. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, and lift the heart. Exhale, round, tucking the tailbone and the chin in towards the center. Inhale. Drop the belly, lift the heart for cow. Exhale, round. Good, one more time. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Think about dragging the wrists back towards the knees to open up the collarbones. And then as you exhale, think about pressing the hands away from the knees, really arching the back, tucking the tailbone, finding that space in between the shoulder blades. Inhale, come back to center, a neutral spine. We'll start with a little bit more of core work, but this time it'll be in spinal balance. So you'll tuck the right toes on the right leg long behind you. You can stay right here. You can lift this right leg in line with the right hip. Even more, maybe you tent the left fingertips. Maybe you reach the left arm forward, thumb pointing up towards the ceiling. It's important here that the right hip, knee, and toes stay pointed down so you're not opening the hip to the side. Good. Take an inhale here. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send it out long. Exhale, knee to nose. Good. Inhale, and then one more time. Exhale, curl in. Good. Send it out, and then return back to table. This time we'll take a lateral flexion with our spine. So we will take a peek over our right shoulder, drawing the right hip towards the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Take a peek over that left shoulder towards the left hip. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. warming up the spine in all directions. This time tuck the left toes, reaching out through the left heel. And again, either keeping both hands down and lifting that left leg, or if you like, this time you'll lift the right arm. Root down through that left palm and the top of that right shin. As you exhale, curl in. Inhale, send it out long. Exhale, curl in. Last time as you send it out long, and then inhale, curl. Send it out long, and then exhale, release, come back to table. Good. You can sway the hips from side to side if that feels okay. Good. From tabletop, tuck the toes, lift the knees 2 inches. So still working on this core, strengthening and stabilizing through the shoulders. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, shift the hips back towards the heels, so you're rooted down through the entire palm. Arms are nice and straight. Elbows are wrapping in together, so that your downward facing dog arms are already set right here. Then lift the hips and maybe lengthen the heels towards the floor. If your hamstrings are still really tight, you can always bend the knees. Bending the knees allows you to reach the tailbone up and drop the heart forward towards the floor. Good. So first, downward facing dog. If that doesn't feel good, you can walk your hands a little wider, maybe pedaling the feet, swaying the hips from side to side, and then coming back to stillness. Good. We'll take 3 waves forward into high plank, so still warming up the shoulders. As you inhale, you'll come to the toes, tuck the tailbone, and arrive in plank. As you exhale, tuck the chin, press through the hands, think of that cat action with the back, and round back to downward facing dog. 2 more times from the toes, wave forward, high plank. Exhale, chin to chest, reach back, downward facing dog. Last time. Inhale, come forward into high plank and hold. From here, we'll lower all the way down onto our belly, so you can drop the knees or straight through, lower all the way to your belly. Untuck the toes. Take the fingertips out wide in line with your shoulders. So from the tops of the feet, pressing firmly into the mat, pubic bone pressing firmly into the mat, shoulders, hands are in line with your shoulders, elbows up towards the ceiling. We'll take a few rolling cobras here. So as you inhale, begin to lift the heart, peel it away from the chest, peel the heart away from the floor. Exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Bring your hands back underneath of your shoulders. Tuck the toes, press through hands and knees, and then arrive back in downward facing dog. Good. From downward facing dog, walk your hands towards the back of your mat. Separate your feet about hips width distance apart. And if you don't know what that is, you can take your 2 fists in between your big toes, so you know just exactly where your hips are. From here, bend the knees, take opposite elbows, and hang in ragdoll. In ragdoll, bend your knees as much as you need to allow the belly to lay on the thighs, and allow the crown of the head to be heavy, so it's reaching down towards the floor. If you like, you can sway from side to side. Maybe shake the head no, nod the head yes. Root down through the feet, release the arms so that they hang like empty coat sleeves. And then begin to roll up the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Chin and shoulders. Gently lift. Good. Draw your shoulders up towards your ears and then exhale back and down. 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders. And then exhale. Back and down. 1 more. Inhale, shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, back and down. Good. From the back of your mat, take a walk to the front. We'll begin with a few sun salutations to continue to warm up through the body. So bringing your big toes together, I'm a little limited on space. I hit the door, so I'm gonna be pulling my arms forward overhead, but if it feels better for you to take the arms out wide as you reach, your practice, please do so, okay? So with your big toes together, root down through the feet. As you inhale, lift the arms up, gaze looks up. As you exhale, bend the knees, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to high plank. As you lower, you can do knees, chest and chin. Inhale, snake through to a cobra, Bhujangasana. As you exhale, drop the heart, press through the hands and knees one more time. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. So that's the most supported variation of a vinyasa with the knees, chest, and chin. We'll be moving on to a chaturanga throughout the practice, so it's yogi's choice. As you inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, take a step to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold in. Reverse swan dive, come all the way up to standing, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's keep moving. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway, fingertips to the floor to your shins. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to high plank. This time, if you'd like, you can take chaturanga, coming with the elbows down by the rib cage. As you untuck the toes, lifting to upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth. Good. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, step to the top of your mat. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale, fold in. Root down to rise all the way up to standing, palms touch overhead. And then exhale, hands to your heart. One more, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, high plank. Lower down through chaturanga. Inhale to back bend, upward facing dog. And then exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Good, again, take a deep breath in. Let's take lion's breath on the exhale. Stick out the tongue. No one can see you, it's okay. Let's do one more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, lion's breath. And inhale, look forward. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Reverse swan dive, come all the way up to standing, palms touch overhead. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. Good, I'm gonna turn towards you guys. You can stay towards the top of your mat. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. The right hand will grab the left wrist. So I'll do it down here so you guys can see me. Right hand grabs the left wrist, and you'll take a side bend over towards the right. I'm not mirroring you guys, so you might be bending in the opposite direction with me. Good. Root down through that left leg. Find a nice space through the left side ribs, and then inhale, come back up to center. So you guys are standing. I just wanted you to be able to see my hands. This time, left hand grabs the right wrist. As you exhale, bend over towards the left. Hips go towards the right. Nice big side bend on the right side of the body. Inhale, come back up to center. Release the hands to the low back. I'll stand up again because I think you can see me. Hands to the low back, elbows drop together behind you. The hands help the booty reach down towards the floor as you lift your heart up towards the ceiling. This is a baby back bend here. Thinking about a string at the center of your chest reaching straight up into the sky. Hips can shift a little bit more forward. Glutes are active and engaged. Then inhale, come back up to center. Good, big toes. I'll turn towards you, big toes together. Sink the hips back, Utkatasana, chair pose. So in your first Utkatasana, legs are squeezing together, outer hips are firming in. So think about activating the glutes. Inhale here. As you exhale, the right arm sweeps behind you for a twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, left arm sweeps behind you. Inhale, center. One more time each side. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Good. Straighten the legs, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to high plank, step straight to downward facing dog, or move through a vinyasa. Lowering through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, inhale, lift the right leg. As you exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose. Inhale, send it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee in towards the nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. This time as you exhale, knee into the nose and then step the foot or help it to the right thumb. The back knee stays lifted. Root down through this right heel and sweep the arms forward and overhead for crescent. Arriving in your crescent, rooting down through this right heel, right knee stacked on top of right ankle. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, sweep the right arm behind you, twisted lunge. Take an inhale. As you exhale, that left palm plants to the inside of that right foot, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Careful the left leg doesn't bend. You're keeping it nice and straight, lifting the left hip in line with the right. One more breath in. As you exhale, top hand comes down, step back to high plank. Again, you can lower down knees, chest and chin. Inhale to back bend of your choice. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. This time, exhale, knee to nose, step the left foot to the left thumb. Root down through the front foot as you sweep the arms overhead for crescent lunge. Left hip draws back, right hip draws forward. As you exhale, left arm sweeps behind you, twisted lunge. Inhale, reach the arms forward and overhead. And then exhale, bring the right hand to the inside of this left foot. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Again, I'm reaching through my back right heel. Right leg is super strong. Take one more inhale. Exhale, top hand comes down. Step back to high plank. Straight to downward facing dog, or again, a chaturanga. To upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, 3 breaths here. Good, inhale, look forward. As you exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Reverse swan, might come all the way up to standing, palms touch. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Good, this time we'll take chair pose. I'm turning towards you so you can see me. We'll take chair pose, king chair. So you're separating the feet again, hips width distance apart. And then as you inhale, you'll brush the fingertips along the floor, reach the arms overhead. Good, so notice there's still space in between my legs, but I'm pretending like they're squeezing together. Glutes are still active and engaged. If at any point this becomes too much for the shoulders, you can also drop the arms in line straight out in front of you. And then everyone will bring their hands to the hip, to their heart. You'll take take the left elbow to the inside of the left knee. So again, I'm not mirroring you. Take the left elbow to the inside of the left knee and begin to take a twist open towards the right. If you have more, you can take the left hand down to the floor, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back to center. way up to standing. Take a little back bend here, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Side number 2. Inhale to sweep the arms, fingertips towards the floor as you find your king chair pose again. This time I'll show you from the side. So glutes are squeezing in. Bring your hands to heart center. You'll hook the right elbow to the inside of the right knee. And begin to press the elbow into the knee, knee into the elbow to help you find this twist. You're looking to stack the shoulders. You can stay right here or drop the right fingertips in between the feet and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Keeping a bend in the knees. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, release. Rise all the way up to standing. And then hands come to heart center. Good. If you're not there already, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to high plank, lowering down through a vinyasa. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. As you exhale, step the right foot to the right thumb. Spin the back heel down and open up for Virabhadrasana 2. So you have a nice heel to arch alignment. Right knee stacked on top of right ankle. Reverse the front palm. Reverse your warrior. Keeping a bend in that front knee. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right forearm to right thigh. Left arm reaches straight up towards the ceiling. See if you can see the thumb with the right eye. Inhale, come back into Virabhadrasana 2. As you reverse, this time straighten your front leg. Inhale, come back up to standing. And setting up for triangle. So shift the hips back, reach the right arm forward, and when you can't reach anymore is when the right hand comes down to the top of that shin, to the inside of the right foot, and the left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. So I know I'm not facing you guys here, but I will on the other side. So you're looking to stack the shoulders. The shoulders aren't hunched up towards the ears. You're drawing the shoulder blades together on the back, and you're reaching your sits bone towards that back heel. Take one more breath in and out. On your next inhale, rise up to standing. Bend into that front knee, Virabhadrasana 2, one more time. And then windmill the hands. Coming onto the ball of the back foot, step back to high plank. This time we'll shift the hips straight back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step the left foot to the left thumb, spin the back heel down, and windmill open, Virabhadrasana 2. So again, heel to arch alignment, if that feels okay. You're not looking to have the knee go past that front ankle. So take a look and make sure knees stacked right on top of the ankle, or even a little bit behind, okay? Arms are out wide, and you're hugging muscle to bone. So don't have limp spaghetti arms, right? Here you are in your warrior, so fierce. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Inhale, come back up to center. Drop the left forearm to the left thigh, reach the right arm straight up towards the ceiling. Gaze looks up. Rooting down through the pinky toe edge of that back foot. And inhale, come back up, Virabhadrasana 2. Flip the front palm, reverse as you straighten the front leg. And then inhale, come up to standing. And sitting up for triangle, so you're kicking the hips back, shifting the hips back, reaching the left fingertips forward. When you can't reach anymore, that's when you drop your hand to the shin. So the inside of that foot, maybe you can grab the big toe, and the right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. So triangle is not about the triangle of the legs, it's the triangle of this space here. The arm, the torso, and the leg. So think about gathering the top ribs in, so that you can lengthen out through your bottom ribs, right? So we tend to be here, gathering those top ribs, so shorten the space in between the shoulder and that hip. One more breath. Inhale, come back up to center. Bring your hands to your hips. This time we'll step to the top of our mat. Good. So we'll take a standing pose here. I'm turning towards you so you can see me, but you can stay right towards the top of your mat. We're setting up for eagle pose. So we've been doing a lot of upward facing dog to open the front. We'll start to do eagle to open the shoulders. So for eagle, you can bend forward about 45 degrees and allow the arms to swing. So just lubricating the shoulder joints a little bit. And then the next time that the right arm comes behind the left, you'll hook them, okay? So right arm under, left arm over, okay? So you can stand up and give yourself a hug if this feels okay. You can take the backs of the hands together, or you can even cross and try and get the palms together, okay? So because we have our right arm under, that means our right leg will go over, okay? So you'll sink back like you're sitting in a chair. Come to the ball of the right foot. Again, I'm not mirroring you guys, so you might be on a different side than me, or it might look different. You'll cross the right thigh on top of the left, and this right foot can stay hanging out here like a pointed and active engage, or you can try and wrap the toes around the calf. The deeper you sit, the easier that will be. So if your elbows have dropped down onto your chest, can you lift them in line with your shoulders? This gaze, or this pose is really, really hard, and it helps to find a focal point, something that's not moving. Ooh. And if you fall out, like I just did, you can get right back into it, okay? Let's hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to release everything and step wide. Good. Give everything a little wiggle and a shake. Side 2. So again, feet wider than about hips width. Hinge forward at the hips and allow the arms to swing. Okay. This time, we're doing the right arm over. So the next time the right arm comes over, you will cross the elbows and either again, hug, backs of the hands, or try and get the palms together. So I'll show you from this side so you can see my shoulders this time. As you sink the hips down like you're sitting in a chair, you'll come onto the ball of the left foot, cross the left thigh over. Again, this toe can hang out right here. If you have a block, sometimes it's nice to have it as a little kickstand, or you can try and wrap the toes around the back of that calf. So right now my shoulders are, or my elbows are dropped down onto my chest. I'm gonna try and lift them away so they're in line with my shoulders. I feel a really big stretch in between my shoulder blades. And my palms, my wrists are stacked right on top of my shoulders. They're right on top of my elbows, so they're not too far forward, they're not too close to my face. Good, we'll stay here for 3, 2, and on 1, stand up and release everything. Good. Give a little wiggle and a shake. Okay, just gonna check my time. Sweet. Bring your big toes together at the top of your mat. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, fold in. Inhale to reverse swan dive, or reverse halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. One more time, inhale to lift up halfway. Plank the hands, step back to high plank. This time we'll hold in high plank. So you have a couple of options. We're gonna take side plank. You can drop this left knee, have it come out like a kickstand, and roll over onto the pinky, drop the right heel, so that you can take a nice supported Vajrasana here. If you'd like a little more, you'll keep the legs together and maybe stagger the feet as you roll over onto this left arm. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Maybe bring a smile to your face. So feet can be staggered. If you have another variation, like lifting the top leg. Good, we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. Reverse, come back to plank. We'll take that on the other side. So shift the hips over towards the right, standing into this right arm, again staggering the feet, maybe stacking the feet, lifting the left arm up towards the ceiling. Tailbone is reaching down towards the heels. Good for 3, 2, 1. Come back to plank. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Good. Make a pillow with your hands and drop the left ear to the floor. Bend your knees, windshield wiper them from side to side. So we'll take a few belly down back bends now, which are really good for opening the front of the body. So we'll start with building onto locust pose, Shalanbasana. And then if you have a bow practice, we'll go there as well. So sitting up for your belly down back bends, let's first start in Sphinx. So this is a totally awesome back bend that is really supportive. But it's really easy to dump into the low back. So in all of these back bends, you're thinking about lengthening the tailbone down towards your heels. So here my tailbone's not lengthened, and then when I think about tucking it, notice how I press into my pubic bone and reach the tailbone towards my feet. So in Sphinx, elbows are right underneath the shoulders, and there's this isometric movement that happens where you're thinking about dragging your elbows back towards your hips, and your shoulder blades draw together on your back, and you lift through your heart. So you can stay right here. Press through the tops of the feet, root down through your pubic bone. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, release. Create a pillow with the hands. Drop the right ear to the mat. Again, if you feel like it, this time you can kind of egg beater your legs. Pressing one shin in front of the other. Come back to stillness and release the tops of the feet to the floor. For this next back bend, you can again take Sphinx with the elbows underneath, or if you'd like, you bring your arms by your sides, palms face down. Reach the right leg long behind you, then reach the left leg long behind you. Zip up the legs together, like one tail here. So before you even lift, think about drawing the shoulder blades together on the back, and notice how that automatically draws your shoulders away from the floor. Root down through the pubic bone, press through the palms of the hands, and lift the heart. So again, you can stay right here. You don't need to crank your gaze forward. That puts a lot of stress on the cervical spine. Your gaze will be down your nose, maybe at the top of your mat. If you have more, maybe lift the legs. If you have more, maybe lift the hands, palms face down, or thumbs point down towards the floor. Wherever you are, hold for 3, 2, 1. Palms face up, bring the big toes together, allow the heels to fall out, and drop the left ear to the mat. You can sway the hips from side to side, or again, windshield wiper the legs. Bring the legs back to stillness. So we'll take another Shalanbasana, locust pose, or if you have a bow practice, we'll go there. So if you are in locust or Sphinx, you know the steps of flipping the palms, lifting the heart. If you're going to bow pulling pose, Dhanurasana, you'll bend your knees, and you'll reach back either for the tops of your feet or for the shins. If you have your shins, flex your feet. So it's really important here that you keep your heels in line with your glutes and your knees right out from your hips. We don't want them splaying out to the side. That puts a lot of pressure on the hip joint and the low back. So from here, you're just going to kick the feet into your hands to lift the heart. Then maybe you lift the feet straight up towards the ceiling. So if you were in locust pose, you're flying now. If you're in bow pose, we're holding. Everyone will hold for 3, 2, and 1. Gently release everything down, opposite ear to the floor, and again, maybe windshield wiper the legs from side to side. And come back to stillness. Bring your hands underneath of your shoulders, tuck your toes, and come back into tabletop. So we just did some pretty deep back bends, and our counter poses for back bending are forward folds. So we're going to be moving into child's pose. Bring the big toes together, separate the knees out wide. Gentle tuck of the tailbone here as you begin to sink the hips back towards the heels. Arms out in front of you, forehead to the floor. Allowing the breath to deepen and slow, maybe slowing down your heart rate. Seeing if you can send the breath into any spaces of tightness. Slowly walking the hands back towards the knees, sitting up, and drawing the knees together. So our little inversion practice today will be rabbit pose. It's also a nice opening for the shoulders. So if you've never done rabbit pose, we're going to walk through it. In a rabbit pose, the knees stay together. And as you forward fold, like you're going to child's pose, you'll reach around and grab the heels. So notice I kind of round forward, grab the heels, and I'm dropping the crown of my head towards my knees. So that when I lift my hips, I'm on the crown of my head. And I'm holding onto my heels, which provides a little traction in the shoulders and the traps. So you're not on your forehead. You're trying to find that soft spot on the top of your head, the crown of your head. And maybe you can even take circles, give it a little massage. One direction, and then the other. So an inversion is anytime the hips are higher than the heart. So you're rooting down through the tops of your feet. And if you can't reach your feet, you can always take the back of your calves. Your ankles, maybe your calves. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, gently release. This time we'll take Balasana, traditional child's pose, with the arms by your sides, palms face up, and the forehead now does come to the floor, and maybe you rock the forehead from side to side. Coming back to stillness. Bring the hands by the knees, gently roll up the spine to kneeling. Shift the hips off to one side, and send the legs out long in front of you. So with the legs out long in front of you, we'll take Paschimottanasana. So if you'd like, you can even press down with the hands, lift the hips, and then settle down into your sits bones. Maybe you'd like to pull the flesh out from underneath you so you can feel really grounded. For Paschimottanasana, feet are flexed. You can even bend your knees if your hamstrings are still really tight. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, reach, 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 and when you can't reach anymore, allow the hands to come to the floor, maybe to the outside of your calves, maybe to the pinky toe edges of your feet. Maybe you can take the peace fingers, your first two fingers, in between the big toe and the second toe. Create a lock by wrapping the thumb around the nails of those first two fingers. Inhale to lift up, and then exhale, forward fold. So in this forward fold, we're trying to get the hip crease to fold. It's not a round of the upper back. Shoulders are still drawing together behind you, and then forward fold. Good. As you inhale, roll up the spine. Bring the hands behind you, fingertips facing towards your booty. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor, feet separated about hips width distance apart, and inhale to take reverse table. So in reverse table, gaze can look straight up towards the ceiling, or you can allow your head to fall down behind you. But you're looking to see if you can get the hips in line with your knees. And you're rooting down through the soles of the feet to help this rebounding action of rooting down to rise up. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, release. Good. I'm going to turn towards you, and this time I will mirror you. So you'll send your legs out long in front of you, and you will keep your right leg long, and the left knee will draw in. And you'll send that left foot to the inside of the right leg for Vinyasa. So let's take a twist over towards this extended right leg first. So left hand to the outside of this right leg, find a twist, gaze over that right shoulder. And then as you inhale, come back to center, but only so that your torso is now lined up over this extended right leg, and begin to forward fold. So you can walk your fingertips out. This extended leg, the foot stays flexed. You can grab again either to the calf, the foot, and then the gaze looks down towards that shin. With each inhale and exhale, see if you can drop a little bit more into this pose. On your next inhale, rise back up to seated. This left hand will come behind you, the fingertips pointing away from you, and then as you inhale, you'll reach this right arm forward, come to the toe of that the ball of that extended foot, reaching onto the shin of this bent leg. Maybe this right arm can reach overhead, big stretch in the front of the body. And then as you exhale, sink the hips and come back to seated. Good. Bring the big toes or the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. Just taking a nice inner groin stretch here. Take a deep inhale, and then as you exhale, forward fold. Elbows can come to the inside of the thighs. We're only going to be here for a few breaths. You can take your hands to your feet so that you're opening the feet like the pages of a book. This might allow you to find more external rotation in the thighs so that you can forward fold. On your next inhale, slowly come back up to seated. This time the left leg will go out long and the right sole of the foot will come to the inside of that left thigh. We'll take a twist, so you'll bring the right hand to the outside of this left, either thigh, knee, or calf, so that you are now twisting over towards the left. Gaze turn to look over that left shoulder. As you inhale, come back to center until you keep the torso over this extended left leg. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and then exhale, forward fold, Janu Shirshasana. Head to knee pose, which you might not be close to that, and that's okay. You're rooting down through this left hip, and that right leg, that right knee is pressing towards the floor. Again, your gaze looks down at this extended leg, and you can forward fold without having the shoulders come up towards the ears. They still draw down the back, and you're thinking about lengthening the heart towards the toes. On your next inhale, slowly rise back up to seated. This time, the right hand plants behind you, fingertips away. As you inhale, you'll lift the hips, come onto the ball of this right foot, so flatten the left leg in front of you. Coming onto the shin of that right leg. Maybe that left arm reaches overhead behind you. I'm out of space. Take one more breath in. And exhale, release. Good. This time, send both legs out in front of you. Give them a little wiggle and a shake. We're nearing the end of our practice. So scoop the hips forward so that you have enough space to lay down behind you. Our last little bit of core work here will be reaching the arms forward, rooting down through through the entire sole of the foot. And then as you exhale with a straight back, seeing if you can find this spot where your toes feel really light. Use the belly, and then inhale, come back up to center. 3 more times. Exhale, lower back. Inhale, lift. Good, 2 more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower back. Inhale, lift. This time we'll scoop the belly, so we'll round. Think about this cat action, scooping the belly round through the back. And you're going to try and place each vertebrae one at a time, all the way onto the mat. Good, draw the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze, rock from side to side. We'll take a spinal twist here. I'm not going to mirror you, so draw the right knee in towards the chest and the left leg long in front of you. Take the left hand to the top of that right shin, right arm out to the side, palm face down. Shift the hips over towards the right, and then guide this right knee across the body. So you're rolling onto the outside of that left hip, and gaze turns to look over the right shoulder. Maybe even closing the eyes here. If you'd like to take it into full pinwheel, this left leg will bend. The left hand stays to the right thigh, but your right hand will reach down and maybe grab the top of this right foot for a nice stretch. You'll walk your left shoulder out, so you're trying to ground the right shoulder down. Good, we're here for 3, 2, and 1. Wherever you are, gently releasing, coming back to center. Bring the sole of the right foot to the floor, realigning the hips, and bring the left foot to meet the right. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. Send the right leg long, flex the foot. This time that foot is down, the whole leg is on the floor. Right hand to the top of this left knee, Scoot the hips over towards the left. And allow now this left knee to cross the body, rolling over onto the outer right hip. The left arm is out by the side, palm face down. You're trying to ground down through that entire left shoulder. You can even scoop this right shoulder out from underneath of you. If you'd like to take full pinwheel, you'll bend the right knee underneath of you to reach down and grab the top of that right foot. Again, this left shoulder wants to pop up. You're grounding down. And if that doesn't work for you, that's okay. If you have a strap or a towel, you can always use that to help you lasso the foot. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. If you have that bottom foot, gently release. Everyone come back to center. Realign the hips. Bring both soles of the feet to the floor. Draw the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze, and maybe rock from side to side. This time we'll take happy baby. So bring the soles of the feet towards the ceiling, arms to the inside of the thighs, but then the fingertips reach towards the pinky toe edges of the feet. You're drawing the knees down into the armpits. So notice if your tailbone has really risen up here, see if you can flatten the low back onto the mat. So you do that by drawing the knees into the chest, but then the feet press back into the hands. And when I do that, when I press my feet back into the hands, is when I notice that I can lengthen my tailbone down. Maybe you'd like to rock from side to side here. Maybe you'd like to extend one leg and then the other. As we near the end of our practice, if there's any final poses that are calling to you, please do so now. If you need any extra clothing for a 5-minute Shavasana, I will not hold the space for that, but please get any extra clothing and set a timer for yourself for a 5-minute Shavasana. If you are ending your practice here with me, you can come up to seated, bringing your hands to heart center. Gently closing the eyes and finding the breath again. Thank you all for sharing this with me. I hope I've brought something to your day as well. And I look forward to doing some more videos. This video is just under an hour, and I hope to do some shorter videos that are more, snackable, I guess. Once again, my name is Sarah. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.